All right, assalamu alaikum. In the name of Allah, most gracious, most merciful. We have a special show tonight. Not going to do a topic, just decided to see the brothers and sisters for a second time during the week instead of once a week this week. And decided we would just open up the mic, right? Open up the mic, open up the call in, and anybody can do it. Doesn't even if you're not against Islam, if you have any questions as a Muslim, you have a question, we'll try to help you with it. I already sent the word out. I put a word out to any haters. Christian Prince, you always want everybody to call into your show. Why don't you come out of your comfort zone and let's see how you deal with it on somebody else's show. Christian Prince, Apostate Prophet, David Wood, any other anti-Islamists out there, right? Right, especially Christian Prince. That's his thing, right? He always telling people to call his show. Well, why don't you come on my show? Come on my show and let's hear some of your claims, right? Like I was telling you guys that I saw what's that? Those guys, the brother Muslim allegation hunter. Man, he does a good job. I like his work. I'm definitely gonna have to contact him and see if we can also add him to the team with myself and brother Akil. There's a number of people out there doing some good stuff. So we need to all link up and start working with each other. So yeah, they did a good job, man. They did a good job. Oh, he did a good job. All right, so let me welcome some of the brothers. Moin Udin is here. Assalamu alaikum. Brother Shazad Ali is here. Don't forget, send out some. Matter of fact, let me do that real quick while we're on. Let me send out some tweets. Let everybody know that the show has begun. That the show has started. Let's see, join us live right now. All right. So yeah, let's see if we can get some things going. But yeah, they did a good job, man. They did a really good job in exposing his lies. Matter of fact, we'll talk about it a little bit if we don't until people call. And matter of fact, I forgot. Let me get the call-in number going too. Let's get that set up. Hold on a second. Let's see here. Where is it? Oh, here we go. Load up the Zoom. So if anybody wants to call in, you have to use. I think you have to use the Zoom, right? I don't think you can call from any number. You have to sign in your Zoom account, right? So let's see here. No, right? Don't forget to like the video also, right? Don't forget to like the video. Those who watch now and those who watch it later. So yeah, send out some tweets, like the video. Now let's get this thing started. All right, let me get the Zoom ready so you guys can. For those who want to call in, you'll be able to call in. Let me see. Hold on a second. go. All right. So the call in number is let's see here. How do we do that again? All right. Let's see here. Join with computer audio. Right. And that call in ID. How do you do that again? Share. Right. You share. Okay. That's not it. Hold on a second. How do we invite other people? Oh, invite. There we go. Okay. All right. The call in. Is this the call in number? I guess that's the call. Oh, that's the ID to call. Wait. Copy the invitation. No, we don't want that. Copy URL. Okay. So let's try that. Let's see here. All right, so if anybody wants to call in, this is, let's see if this works. That's the URL, right? There you go. That's the URL to, if you want to join in and speak live. If not, you can make your claim on in the text, and we can do it like that. Yeah, brother Shazad, you're right. Yeah, I need to try to get in schedule. I mean, but well, usually what I've been doing is usually on Sundays. Usually I've been doing Sundays at about about 8 o'clock. Usually, last few shows though, yeah, they've been a little random. They've been a little random. But usually I try to keep it on Sundays at 8 o'clock Eastern time. Usually. But I know the last show was kind of random. You know, I would like to be able to try to keep it scheduled, but in order for me to try to get a more consistent schedule, as I've been mentioning over the last several weeks and months, I need I need some type of sponsorship, because if not, then my work schedule, it makes it it makes it a little bit unpredictable to be able to try to get it. I try to just get it when I have a little extra some free time usually. So most of the time, so I guess you can try to count on it to be usually on Sundays at 8 p.m. Eastern time, usually. But if I gotta handle some business, then it won't allow me to get off. It won't allow me to be freed up. So I have to just try to do it when I have free time. But as I said to the people out there, if you haven't already become a sponsor, that will definitely help us to be able to do that, to free up the time to be able to try to get a more consistent schedule, and we can also start to do more shows. We can do more shows on a regular basis. Like David and these guys, it seems like they do a show every day, man. It seems like they have something every day or something. I just don't have the time to get it done every day. But again, with increased sponsorship, Patreons, and whatever donations, I could definitely then have the time to to try to do more shows on a regular basis. But as I said, for right now, try to look for me on Sundays 8 o'clock. Usually Sundays 8 o'clock. Today I just had some free time, so I said, well, let's try to do a random show, inshallah. All right, Omar El Saeed, welcome. So where's all the haters at, man? Come on. I sent out a text. I sent a tweet out to what's his name, so-called Imam of Peace, Frahidi. Sent out a tweet to him. I sent the tweet to Christian Prince, and to who's the other person? And Apostate Prophet. Yeah, I included them in the tweet. I tagged them in it. But you know what I noticed? These guys, man, a lot of these people, they just all talk, man. They don't really want to get that challenge, because, as I said before, they get that challenge. They can't handle it. You know what I mean? They can't handle it. You know what I'm saying? They can't handle it, man. I just had an experience yesterday where I was on Pal Talk, and there was these two rooms open, right? The one room was called what did it say? It was called Muhammad is not a real prophet. Nobody was in there, right? So I said, well, let me, this would be the perfect time to get a one-on-one. You know what I mean? We don't have to worry about distractions. You know, we don't have to worry about anybody interfering. So I was like, let me get a one-on-one. Yeah, just Muhammad, just sign into Zoom, right? Go to Zoom.com. Account you may have to register an account. It's free. Sign in. Once you sign in, then that link that I gave you that I put on that I put right here. That's how you can join the discussion like that. So once you sign in, you click on that, and then that'll bring you right to the discussion. You could join in the conversation like that. Yeah, I'm saying, come on, bring it on, man. So, go back to what I was saying. That, so yeah, so I go in the room, right? So I go in the room, the Pal Talk room where the guy is at. Nobody was there, so I was like, okay, this is the perfect opportunity to get a one-on-one. I could really, we could really have a dialogue since it's just me and him, me and the person. So I go in there and I'm like, so tell me, man, why? Explain to me why Muhammad's not a real prophet. His first response was, "Oh, cause Muhammad didn't make any prophecies." I was like, "What?" So I get on the mic and I said, "Wait a minute. Did you do any research on this, or are you just saying this because you don't like Muhammad? Did you actually research it? Did you check to see if Muhammad actually made any prophecies? Did you do any research in the Islamic literature to see if there's any prophecies attributed to him in Islamic literature before you made the claim?" So then he gets mad at me, right? He gets mad, and he totally leaves the topic. Well, tell me why Muhammad is a pedophile. I'm like, well, slow down, man. I said we can answer that. He's not a, we can answer that he's not a pedophile. But first, let's deal with this first claim you made. Your first evidence that Muhammad is not a real prophet is because you claim that he did not make any prophecies. And I'm asking you, did you do any research before you made that claim? Did you look in the Islamic literature to see, are there any prophecies attributed to Muhammad? So he gets mad. He couldn't answer me because he didn't do the research. I knew he didn't do the research. You see? But that's why I like to get these guys to question them and deal with them one-on-one, because that will expose their ignorance. You see? When you get them in a corner and it's just one-on-one and they don't have their crowd to back them up, right? Or they can't, stop you because you're on their radio program or you called into their show. These guys are nothing. You get to see that there's nothing backing them up, right? So I question. So he keeps trying to run from the topic. I'm like, no, man. I'm asking you a question. You said that he's not a prophet, and I asked you to explain. You said because he didn't make any prophecies. I'm asking you again. Did you do any research? Did you at least look in Islamic literature to see, does Islamic literature say Muhammad made any prophecies before you claim that he didn't make any prophecies? Oh, well, I'm supposed to, you expect me to do, I said, yeah, I do expect you to do the research. Yes, I do expect you to do the research if you're going to make a claim about an issue. If your claim is that Muhammad is not a prophet, a real prophet, and you base that upon your claim that he didn't make any prophecies, did you check to see if he made any prophecies? Oh, he I don't know, he called me a name, cursed at me, whatever. You're such and such and such. And then he dotted me, right? And then he dotted me because he knew that he knew that he didn't do any research. He knew that I had him on the ropes. He knew that he couldn't handle the fact that I was challenging his claim and he couldn't back it up. You see? So he tried to deflect with, "Oh, tell me why Muhammad's a pedophile." And I'm like, "Look, we can deal with that, but I need you to address your first point. Your first main point was that he didn't make any prophecies, and that's why he's not a prophet. And I'm asking you, did you check to see if he made any prophecies?" And clearly the idiot didn't do it. He didn't do any research. You see? And that's how these guys are. They're a lot. They run their mouths, right? They run their mouths, but they don't really have any information to back them up. So then I go to another room, right? I go to another room. I said, let me see what these people. Now this room had a lot of people in it, so I already knew how they were going to deal with it. You know what I'm saying? Just to see what they were going to say, and that's how they do. They dot you, right? And they don't want to come out of their rooms. They're scared. They're afraid to come out of their little comfort zone and take a real challenge. You see? So what they did in the other room is, of course, they dotted me the same, because they can't handle it. They don't want to. They won't dare step out into a real challenge because they know that they cannot back up their claims. They're only good when they have a crowd of haters listening to them, and nobody's gonna challenge them. Which brings me to Christian Dents. That's, again, if any of you haters are watching Christian Prince, you tell Christian Prince to call into my show. Tell Christian Dents to call into my show, since he's the the champion against Islam. Tell him to call into my show this time, right? He's always telling everybody to call into his show. Well, tell him my show's on now. Tell him to call into my show, and let's see if his claims stand up, which we know they won't, right? So here's my thing with Christian Dents, which I've noticed over the years. Here's what he does, right? He knows that his audience is not Arab speaking, right? His audience is usually a bunch of white bigots, right? That's his audience. So they don't know a lick of Arabic. Yet whenever he presents some kind of case to them, the idiot shows them the Arabic text of whatever book he's using. If he's using a hadith, he goes to the hadith is in full Arabic. And I'm like, you idiot, you know these people don't know what you're showing them, right? They don't know Arabic. These white bigots that are in his audience, they don't know Arabic, so they don't know what the hell he's showing them, right? They don't know what the hell he's showing them. So all they do is take his word for it. So I'm like, why are you showing them the Arabic text? Why don't you show them the English? And this is how he deceives them, because he's a coward. That's right. Tell him I said it, and tell him if he wants to take issue with it, you tell him to come on to my show. You tell him to call into my show, right? So he won't show them the English because he knows that he's not telling them the truth, right? And that's what I like about the Muslim allegation hunters, right? So that brother, what he did is he shows what Christian Prince is showing, and then he shows that even in the Arabic, Christian Prince is leaving out information. Christian Prince, like he showed one hadith or something about some, I don't even know if it's authentic or not because I never heard of it before, but it was some hadith about Shaitan and how Shaitan has his offspring, right? So the brother from Muslim allegation hunters, Christian Prince only read the first part that said that Satan has the parts, the male female parts, and that somehow they're on his leg, and this is how he has his offspring, right? So he started to say, oh, so do you guys believe in this? And then the brother showed that when you read the rest of the tafsir, it says that the scholars differ on whether this hadith is authentic or not. So Christian Prince didn't show that, right? So that it says the scholars say, they differ on whether this is what it is or not. And then when you keep reading, it then shows, it wasn't Ibn Kathir, I think it was Sayyid Qutb, I think. And then he says, after you read further, then Sayyid Qutb gives his own opinion. And he says his opinion is that no, that hadith is not really accurate because there's another more authentic hadith that said that, Satan has these like hatchlings that are come from his back. They're on his back or something like that. And that's how he throws off the eggs and hatches them. So it wasn't where he has both of the male and the female organs or something like that. So he showed how Christian Prince doesn't show his audience the full text, right? He shows how Christian Prince doesn't show his audience the full text. And therefore, that's how he gets away with pulling this trick on his people. Plus, like I said, many times he's showing the Arabic. And I'm like, why are you showing these people the Arabic? They don't know Arabic. These white bigots in your audience, they don't know what you're showing them. They have no clue. But then that also shows the stupidity of them, that they just listen to what he has to say just because he sounds like he's from the Middle East with an accent. So that's it. That's your proof that's the credibility you give to Christian Prince, because he can't speak good English. So you say, oh, he must know what he's talking about. He has a Middle Eastern accent. Meanwhile, he's showing you he's deceiving you, idiot, as the brothers in Muslim allegation hunters has shown. Those brothers do a good job. I like their work. Like I said, I'm gonna have to definitely contact them and see if we can have them on the show. Right. Well, yeah, brother. That's why I say white bigots, because right that clarifies that I'm who I'm talking about. Now, if I just said yeah, all these whites, then that's different. But bigot is an adjective. So if I say white bigots, then clearly I'm only speaking about the ones that are bigots. But that's the reality. That's who his audience is made up of, right? His audience is not made up of Christian Arabs or whatever. The majority of the people who follow this guy are a bunch of Westerners, a bunch of white Westerners, white bigot Westerners, right? Who listen to his every word, and they really think he knows what he's talking about, right? They really think he knows what he's talking about, right? They really think he knows what he's talking about, man. So it's funny. It's really interesting. Sabu, I saw that, but some people are saying that they're not sure if that's really him or not. I guess the guy sounds like Christian Prince, right? They were saying they're not sure if that's really him though, because he doesn't, for some reason he's scared to show his face in public. He claims that the people are after him, but I'm like, yeah, nobody's after you. The same way Robert Spencer and all these other people show their face in public, you can show your face. You ain't doing no more than they are, right? Christian Prince, you're just a coward because you're not doing any more than Robert Spencer or David Wood or any of these other people are doing against Islam, and they show their face in public all the time. So you're not doing anything more than they are. It's not like you're better than them or your arguments are any stronger. So that's just your own cowardice, right? That's just your own cowardice right there. You know what I'm saying? So I'm looking for the callers. What's up? Where the haters at, man? Where the haters at? This is open forum. This is open topic. We don't have a topic tonight. Questions and answers. Question and answers. Bring your allegations. Where you guys at? Let me see. Let me send out another text. Because I'm not understanding what's up with the haters. Where they at? You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? So. Let me see. Like I said, I'm sending out some tweets. Let's see if we can get this thing going here. Let me send some tweets out real quick. Sending out some tweets again. I also sent that. I'm trying to reach out to Frauhidi also. I'm trying to reach out to him too. I sent him an actual direct message to ask him if he'd be willing to do a one-on-one with me, so we can discuss and address some of his claims that he's made against Islam and Muslims. You know, we'll see if he actually responds or whatever. If he sees I'm sure he probably gets a lot of messages, but hopefully somewhere in there he might see my message and we can maybe get a one-on-one. It's time to start. It's time to start. You know, getting at these people one-on-one. So I'm trying to see if if we can get a one-on-one. So I sent him a message, and let's see what happens. All right, well, you brothers in other parts of the world, I know it's late or early, depending on where you are, so I appreciate it. Oh yeah, Christian Prince blocked you, huh? Yeah, that's the thing, Muhammad. That because see, and that's this thing. They want to sell that. They want to cater to their audience. So when you bring up stuff like that, they don't want to address those real facts. 'Cause that's the truth. That's reality. You're right. But they don't want to address that because they want to pander to their, as I said, white bigoted audience. That's the majority of the audience of Christian Prince and these people. So you're forcing him. You were forcing him to address that reality that, hey, under that Palestinian Christians also suffer, right? So because he wants to cater to his audience, he doesn't want to address that fact, right? He knows you're telling the truth, but because he wants to sell this stand with Israel BS narrative, he don't want to address that. So he had to dot you because you were forcing him to face that fact, face that reality, and he doesn't want to face it. You know what I'm saying? He doesn't want to face that fact. So, you know. But yeah, that's what they are, brother Muhammad Omar. Yeah, they're too scared, man. That's why that's why they only want to do it on their platform, right? They want you to call in because that's why I told Christian Prince years ago. I said I'll debate you, but it has to be in public. Has to be in public, not on your radio show. And I told him, I said, if I do it on your radio show, it has to be in person there too. That I need to be in the studio with you, right? It can't be where I'm calling in and you have control of the, of the mute button and all that. Nope, it's got to be face to face. So we either gonna do a face to face debate, a public debate, or I will be in the studio right there with you, right there, and we do it like that. But calling in where you control and you mute the callers and all that, no sir, no sir, no sir. You're going to have to show that you can stand on your own 2 feet in a real face-to-face debate. But we know he doesn't want to do that because when he does that, he's not going to do a good job and his audience is going to fall, they're going to leave. They're going to see that he's all smoke and mirrors. They're going to see that he's all talk. And that's why a lot of them don't want to do that, right? I've challenged many of these people, right? Even Pamela, I remember years ago I challenged Pamela Geller. Wrote her responded email. She emailed me back. She didn't want to do it. They don't want to do it. Just like on Pal Talk, they don't want to come out of their rooms because they know they cannot stand up to the heat. So they're comfortable in their own little zone where everybody in the audience is mostly haters and they can get away with all the nonsense and without being challenged. And of course, if you challenge them, they dot you. That's my experience that has been on Pal Talk. That's why I don't really go to their rooms anymore because I've seen it and they still do it. After all these years, they're still the same cowards that they were years ago. Right? They're still the same cowards that they were years ago. Where once they see that you hit them with points, they dot you. Once they see that you hit them with the points, they dot you. They can't handle it. They can't handle it. Their arguments are weak and their character is weak. They can't handle. They can't stand up to the challenge. They just can't do it. They just can't do it. So, you know what I'm saying?